job here. I wasn't prepared to speak. We had Lieutenant Governor scheduled to come, a couple of senators and representatives, and not one could make it. They had the Representative Kid Bragg. They had I forget what he was telling me happened today. There's some bills they ran late in the assembly, and they were going to run late. And I'm going to just say a few words. I'm not prepared. I go to all these meetings, state capitol, where we anti-protest or protest. We was at the governor's mansion last Saturday. And I said before, I meet some very interesting people. I've met Anthony, Corey, Kana, and Justin. Every time I go, I meet this wonderful people that comes into my life and makes a change, everyone I meet. I met another young lady about 3 weeks ago at a state capitol event named Gabrielle Earnhardt. And she got up and spoke. I mean, Corey, you were there. Young lady, she is in a political science major, about to graduate in that, and then going to law school. And political science meaning she's wanting to get into politics, legislature. I may get to vote for her someday. She was a spitfire, and she grabbed the mic, and I mean, she told us what's going on in her college classes, her professors, how they talk down about America. She's a conservative Republican, and they look down on her. Even the kids in the class, they get on the bandwagon talking about how bad America is. You know, look at what all we've done. You know, we bombed the Japanese. Okay, they bombed us first. Just anything that they can find something that America has done wrong, no goodness in America. That's in her courses, in her classes. And the educators, we spoke about this before. The educators are brainwashing our students from grade school on up, and it don't stop in college, in the college classes. As an organization, we're trying to put together a larger network group, as Jerry just mentioned, to bring all these groups together to get a larger, more powerful group. There's some things we want to do. People, Arkansas is about 76% Republican conservative state. We can do things here that other states really can't do. There's two things on my agenda that I would like to see, and that's to bring prayer back in school. Prayer back in school. Pledge of Allegiance back in school. It's and talking to Gabrielle, that's this. She's never seen that at 21 years old. I remember in kindergarten, we had our prayer. I remember our teacher would, at 5 years old, would pick a student and let us do the prayer for the day. Boy, I didn't know what I was doing. We were scared to death. You know, but it taught us. My dad never said a prayer. My mother did all the prayers at our house. Greg will know that's my cousin. And then my mother would get on my dad because he was the leader in the prayer, like my mother thought he should have been. But but I learned how to do it. I wasn't called upon it in my home, but I was called upon in kindergarten, first, second, third grade. Then we did the Pledge of Allegiance. And this is why when we have a meeting, we say our prayer, our grace to our God. And we pledge allegiance to our country. And if you start your day off praying to your Lord and giving allegiance to your country, what can go wrong? We're the United States of America, as Candace said. We're the greatest country in the world. And in college classes, these students here, we're not the greatest country in the world. And these kids haven't even been to another country. Who has spent time in another country? That's right. If you've been there, I know Bo spent time in Honduras. Now that's pretty rough. That's a rough time. I spent as long as 3 weeks in the country before. That's not living there. But you guys in the military, I know you've seen it. You know that America's the greatest country. But what we're seeing, we're being destroyed from inside out. It's not China coming. We got China coming in. They're coming in different ways. We don't have to worry about the Russians. That's just propaganda to take our mind off of China. I mean, we're smart enough to know what's going on. But they're starting with our children. Something we should be protecting. You know, we sit in our lounge chairs and our air conditioning and our bins a little bit too long. Me and Corey spoke about that. We should have started this 10 years ago.
At least.
At least. And here we are now that it's come to our front door, we want to do something about it. But that's what I'm going to do. Arkansas, we should be able to pressure our legislators. And they're not hearing enough from us. I'm saying we go crazy and go radical, but we're going to have to get a little tough, aren't we, Corey?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to do this, and I'm with you on that. We should be able to get prayer back in school, the pledge. How hard is that in Arkansas with the percentage of Republican conservatives that we have? And I want to stop one thing. You know, they don't allow bullying in school. When I was in school, I'm Brad's age, remember in Joy, the Matthews, we all graduated together. There, you know, bullying, you had to put up with the bullying. And it taught you how to confront those people and deal with them, because once you got out of school, you're going to see those people at work. But there's a new type of bully. The educators. They're the bullies. They're shoving the liberal left-wing agenda down the throats of our kids in our campuses. Not just college, even at grade school it started. And talked with Gabrielle. She was supposed to be here tonight, but she's ill. But she was good enough to make a video for us, and I hope the quality, we got it worked out, and I hope we get the sound. And she's going to speak a little bit in the video about what happens and goes on at her college class, in her law classes and political science, which I'm sure political science is going to be rough nowadays. But you think this stuff happens in California or Portland, Oregon, or Seattle, Washington. It's happening in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's happening in Southern Arkansas University, my alma mater, and Magnolia. How much Republican conservative can you pick an area in Arkansas and get?